Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. So, Robinhood announced today that they have lowered their interest rates for margin. So, it lowered 0.5%, so from 6.75 to 6.25. And that is pretty exciting for me because I am planning on taking out a lot of margin here pretty soon. But overall, I don't think that this should affect your strategy in that you should be keeping the percentage of margin that you want to take out in order to keep yourself safe from a margin call, and just hold steady with that amount. And because it still hurts when you take out a bunch of margin because it's cheap and then the stocks go down and then you get margin called at the bottom. Like, that's very dangerous. Just stick with your original plan, whatever that happened to be. And I don't know if stocks are going to go up or down, but margin is something to use. It's a tool, and you need to use the safety gear with it. So, um, I just this is just one tool that you can use to evaluate brokerage firms before you put your money in. Like, if you want to use margin, definitely make sure that you're at a brokerage that uses has less interest rate. And Robinhood may not always be the cheapest at every single point in time, but when I opened up Robinhood, it was the cheapest at the time. So I'm just glad that they're going to be cheaper now. Um, there was one other thing, and it has nothing to do with this, I wanted to talk about today. Retire on Dividends made a community post to remind people that these are not actually monthly ETFs that YieldMax is doing. They're every fourth week ETFs. And that means that there are 13 payments per year for these. So this is like, I used to get paid bi-weekly and not semi-monthly. And I would budget for 12 paychecks a year. And then I would just get a bonus paycheck. And that's pretty exciting. Like, if you don't budget for the last time and then all of a sudden you have an extra one, that's amazing. And that's pretty much how I funded my IRA when I was budgeting things, like, and bought Christmas presents. It was just like, oh, well, I have a whole extra paycheck. So it doesn't make your spreadsheets very nice, and it also makes it harder to match up. For example, this is the project that I'm working on, and I actually started working on the filter. It doesn't work yet, but basically, I just want to show only the S&P 500 ones. But for example, if you say in the fourth week, the one with Misty, I want to do Misty and Biddo, because Misty is YieldMax and Biddo is Pro Shares. Well, Misty's on a 4-week schedule, which means Biddo is always going to be in the fourth week, but next time Misty might be in the first week. So it's hard to pair, the YieldMax with the monthly, because it's not always going to line up. So it's just something to think about. Like, do you want to have one non-YieldMax ETF and one YieldMax ETF, like the monthly that is always just going to stay static, and then have YieldMax that passes through, and when they have the distributions, you just pull it together and you reinvest proportionally? Or do you just say, like, wow, this is a lot of work, I'm just going to pick one from each of these pools and just do my weekly XDTE and QDTE, which I didn't update this yet, but it's also local on my computer. So, but if I had updated this, you'd see that XDTE actually has more than QDTE. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, do you just have your weeklies redistributing with your weeklies and then your monthly doing its own wheel? That's something that we'll find out. I still don't like week 1 of uh, YieldMax super a lot. So we'll come up with something. It might just be a 3-month wheel for me instead of a 4-week, which is fine. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. With I just wanted to also put out there that every time I think about YieldMax this week, I have "Look What You Made Me Do" stuck in my head. Because I feel like YieldMax just begrudgingly made us these into every fourth week um, funds that they didn't really want to make the change to YMax to make it weekly, but look what we made them do. And now here are the consequences of what we made them do. Like but I'm going to just enjoy having I'm going to continue to calculate for 12 and just have a bonus one every year probably. But what do you think about this? Is it exciting that it's an every 4-week fund, or what is Jay thinking having it not be a monthly ETF? Anyways, I think maybe some people have been commenting about that, like since there's a one less week that they're distributing for, the distribution should be a little bit less per each distribution, and therefore the funds might have time to recover between distributions, even though it's on a shorter time schedule. But that is speculation, and we'll know in probably a year or a quarter. So by March next year, we should know, like, how is this going to work? Are the cover call spreads going to work? Is it being on a shorter time period between distributions? Is that going to help? Are people just going to be like Roundhill XDTE and nothing else? Who knows? But I'm excited and I'm here for it, and I'm gonna have to start doing some really weird things to my brokerage account, but I knew it when I came in, so there's that. So have a good night and let me know what you think.